the Throne Room Podcast. I am your host, the Queen Marva Nichols, and tonight I have FAMU's head football coach, Coach James Colzie, and my virtual studios to talk about this weekend's big game versus Jackson State University, and we'll be right back. Hi, this is the Queen Marva Nichols, and welcome back to the Throne Room Podcast on MTMV Sports Network. And I have Coach James Colzie in my virtual studios. How's it going, Coach Colzie?
All is well. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well, especially since I'm talking to you now. I was worried about you and Coach Woody and your team and your universities and everything. And so I'm just so glad to know that you all weathered the storm. Praise God.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for your text. I know you. I think thanks for worrying about us. But as I mentioned, we were spared and, extremely blessed, to be here tonight.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you for joining me. Let's jump right in. So, Coach Colzie, this game against Jackson State has major SWAC East implications. How are you preparing your team mentally and physically for such a high stakes matchup?
Well, you're prepared for a very, very good football team, but you have to kind of prepare for the environment as well. Obviously, 55 to 60,000 people possibly could be in the stands. We're preparing for loud noises, so we're trying to make sure we take care of our nonverbal communication, but ultimately trying to also make sure we're taking care of what we need to do, execution-wise, communication-wise, I look at two things that I think we have to be able to do, and that's be able to run the football and make sure we win the turnover margin.
Yeah, we know that Jackson State brings a huge crowd, especially at home. And so that's going to be a key factor because they want to get that SWAC championship back from FAMU. You all have, since you've been in the SWAC East, you all have become rivals. So this is a good matchup, being, an alum from a team in the West. So we're all watching you all as well as our own game that will be on Saturday against UAPB. Now, both FAMU and Jackson State, you guys are coming off bye weeks. How have you utilized this extra time to ensure the team is rested and ready for Saturday's game?
Well, we wanted to make sure we did it twofold, where we wanted to mentally continue to prepare for Jackson State. We played Alabama State, obviously, a couple Saturdays ago, and we worked on our corrections that next Sunday. But after that day, we were done with Alabama State. So we quickly moved on to Jackson State, obviously knowing that they weren't playing the game as well. So we had the games that we needed to make sure we broke down, but then also just making sure we took care of ourselves physically. And that was, obviously treatment. Our athletic staff led by Kenny, he has done a great job. They've got us healthy again, so twofold, mentally, right, preparing for Jackson State, but physically making sure we took care of ourselves in the training room and got ourselves good to go.
Yeah, I read somewhere where you said this is probably as healthy as you've seen your team all season. Can you expand on how this will impact your strategy, especially with key players returning?
Well, obviously, you're at full tilt, right? You got people starting in their specific spots where during that time, even though we did have guys banged up, we were able to kind of get our to to make sure our depth was better. But obviously, with a game of this magnitude, you want to make sure you have your best guys going. And our mantra is to make sure, no matter regardless of the situation, we have our best 11 on the field. But it also helped again. Some of our guys were banged up, but it does allow us to continue to use our depth, but also play with some of our prolific football players.
Wow. Yeah. And we're hearing, well, actually, Jackson State is currently leading the SWAC East, but with a win. FAMU could not only go 2-0 in the division, but also gain that crucial head-to-head advantage. How important is this game for the rest of your season and FAMU's pursuit of the Celebration Bowl again?
Well, when you win the head to head, it's you're actually ahead 2 games, right? Because obviously knowing that going in, this was a game that a lot of people had circled on their calendar, but we wanted to make sure that we took care of what we needed to take care of before we played them, right? So, it's for the last 2 years, right? The winner of this game has ultimately won the SWAC East and then has won the SWAC championship. So we got our work cut out for us. We obviously being on the road, but I'm excited for this football team. We continue to improve every week, and that's what we want to make sure that we do this upcoming Saturday.
Yes, and what have you seen from Jackson State's performances so far, especially their high-scoring win over Alabama A&M, and that you're focusing on in terms of game planning?
Well, for me, this is my 3rd year, obviously being, going against them, and they're a high prolific offense. That some of the names have changed, but the success is still there. Coach Taylor's done a great job of assembling a fine offensive unit, and then defensively, those guys just fly around, man. They fly around. They tackle well. They're extremely physical up front. They do a very, very good job of mixing in some of their stunts and allowing their guys just to pin their ears back and play football. So this is my 3rd year going against them. Nothing has changed as far as what I've seen. It's just we get a chance to watch 4 or 5 games just like they did. And where in
Mm-hmm.
previous years we played them the first game of the year. Where now you kind of get an idea of what to expect from this football team, just like they kind of have an idea of what to expect from us. So a great atmosphere. ESPNU obviously has picked up the game. They're expecting a very good game. So we just have to make sure we execute. Get a couple turnovers here and there, and then make sure we're able to run the football against one of the best teams, not just in the SWAC, but best teams in the country.
Let me say this, I think it's going to be strategy against strategy. I think this is a game really too between the coaching staffs, right? It's you against TC, right? And the rest of your staff and his staff. We know that you all can't go out there and play for them, but I think this is all about strategy, and I'm excited. I think I'm going to have my phone on my lap at the game, watching my game and watching your game. I don't know. What time is your game?
We're 3:30 Eastern time, 2:30 Central. So
Okay, so we're at 2
I
and you're
think
at
and I think the time
2:30. So
I think the change is because of TV. I'm not 100% sure, but in Jackson it'll be at 2:30.
okay, and so you mentioned the game being on ESPNU now. How does that national exposure impact the team's preparation, if at all? Is there more excitement in the locker room knowing that the country is going to be watching this game?
Well, I think that's just a little bit, just kind of shows the maturity of our football team. We've been in these type of settings, multiple times this year and then over the last couple of years. So, it's great for the university. It's great for recruiting. Obviously, you got 2 very, very good football teams with ourselves and Jackson State playing on national television. And, to be honest with you, if we weren't both nationally ranked and, where the SWAC East has kind of been determined over the last 3 years, they probably don't pick up this game. So it just furthers the magnitude of the implication of this football game. But ultimately, we got to play well if we want to win. Jackson State's saying the same thing. They got to play well if they want to win. So, excited to be in this matchup. The opportunity, it gives us a chance to just show the FAMU brand and show you what our team is all about. And, hopefully we put up a really, really good football game against a very good football team.
Yeah, because you all ranked number 18 in the FCS coaches poll, while Jackson State sits at number 25. How do you keep the team focused on winning a game instead of like putting their focus on the rankings? Or does that matter? Or does that help to motivate your team?
Well, the motivation is to make sure that we stay there, right? And the way you stay there is by winning, is by playing good football. So we've been in the rankings the entire year, but that's a lot of those rankings are based on what happened last year. So we know we got to continue to play well. We know we got to play sound football. We know that we got to play. We got to get more turnovers than Jackson State to be in a good spot, because they're a high-powered football team. And I've seen some of these other teams that are ranked ahead of them. That, believe me, they're better than their ranking shows. But we understand that we got a huge challenge in front of us. So I don't have to do much to get our guys ready, except make sure that me, myself, and my staff prepare them for everything that we expect. And even though they had a week, they had a bye week, we're trying to prepare them for things that they might do as well. So we have their film. We had a good chance to evaluate. We had a good chance to break them down. But we also are understanding that they've had a bye week, so they may do some things differently as well.
Yes, like I said, strategy, strategy, strategy. I am
Right.
excited. I am really excited about this game. Even though I'm Graham fam, I just love HBCU football. And I think you are a phenomenal coach, and so is Coach TC. I met him at SWAC Media Day, and you all are just outstanding young men, leading men. And we're just looking forward to this game. And anything you want to say to the FAMU fans or community about this game as we wrap up?
Well, I appreciate you again for just checking on us, and thank you very, very much. And safe travels to you as you head to your football game, and just to our fans. I know we'll have a good showing like we always do. I just want to make sure and wish them safe travels, and continue to cheer for us, as we're gonna put our best product out there this upcoming Saturday. So just good luck to you, good luck to our fans, safe travels, and good luck to everybody else in the conference, as regardless of whoever they're cheering for.
Absolutely. And when is your homecoming before I let you go? When is
We
FAMU's
are on
homecoming?
November 2nd, Texas Southern on Saturday. We haven't played at home, and it feels like in 5 years. So I don't know why. We haven't played home since South Carolina State in September.
Oh.
But November 2nd is our homecoming. We will be playing Texas Southern.
Oh wow, well, it's my homecoming Saturday. They're honoring the Miss Grambling State Universities. I am the 38th Miss Grambling.
There you
We
go.
have 71 Miss Gramblings as of today. And so it's gonna be a grand time. And I think Southern is having their homecoming. So look, homecoming season is on.
Oh,
And
it's
you know
time.
what, coach? I may want to experience that FAMU
Well,
fever down
but,
there that I
well,
keep
let
hearing
me
about
let me
for your homecoming.
let me help you rephrase that. I think you need to experience the best homecoming in the country when you come down there November 2nd. When you
Uh-oh.
come down here November 2nd, I just wanted to make sure I help you rephrase it. The best homecoming November 2nd in Tallahassee, Florida, with Florida A&M as we play Texas Southern. But we
Okay.
got to take care of this upcoming Saturday. If we don't win this upcoming Saturday, homecoming might be a little bit different for us.
Yeah, because I think your fans they are so Rattler Nation is something else in these SWAC groups. They are, honey, they are something else. They say they brag differently, right? And
Yeah.
you just brag differently because I don't think anybody rivals my homecoming,
Huh?
but that's okay because you may have to show me, okay? I'm from
I
Chicago, but you may have to pretend you're from Missouri or St. Louis,
yeah,
Missouri to show me state. But I just wanted to get that little blurb from you and I want to say to everybody, thank you for joining Coach Colzie and I. Coach, I'm so glad to talk to you. I'm so glad you took
always,
time
always,
to
and I wanted to
sit with
say
me.
thank you for your text every week. I appreciate that. I truly do. And again, safe travels, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you all for joining the Queen and Coach Colzie. And with that being said, good night.
Good night. Have a good one.